So welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us for our first ever event here in Houston. My name is Wade Bitaraf, lead our energy and sustainability practice at Plug and Play. I wanted to start off by thanking a few of our special guests. To kick it off, first of all, I'd like to thank the Mayor's Office, Mayor Turner, for joining us, for great support that they're showing us. To be here in Houston, thank you to Greater Houston Partnerships, Station Houston. Thanks to our great partners to be here. I know some of our partners are out here from Silicon Valley. So good to see you here in our Houston office. Thank you for Texas Medical Center for hosting us. This is a great venue, and we're excited to see this venue evolve and grow and add some more value to it moving forward. Thanks to the startups for coming out. I was talking with my colleagues, about 80% of you guys are coming from outside Houston. Welcome. And thanks, special shout out to our team, Plug and Play. You guys have done a tremendous work from our colleagues and counterparts, Neda, Omer, leading our health and new materials and packaging initiatives, as well as our marketing team, operations that came with us from Silicon Valley. So excited to have you all here. I was asked to welcome you and give you a little bit of overview of what we're doing in energy and sustainability at Plug and Play. We have great lineup of speakers. Our CEO, Saeed, is here. Thanks for joining us. We also have some of our partners on a panel afterwards, about 10 startups that are going to pitch before the launch session, and then 10 afterwards. So we're excited to be here in Houston, the fourth largest city in the United States, one of the most diverse cities in the country, with a strong focus in energy and healthcare systems. Great university, Texas A&M, Rice University, University of Houston. We're excited to come out here and explore collaboration opportunities. Universities and academia are some of the best resources for early stage investments for us. So we're going to talk a little bit about how our investment thesis have evolved and how we layered in many different areas for which startups can gain validation and access in market through our global network. And then most importantly, great food. Each time we come out here, we're hosted by great hosts and have great food. So excited for all of you to be here. I'll kick it off with a little background of how we started our energy and sustainability practice and what is our mission. So over time, we basically have jumped 2 slides. Okay, so hopefully we go to the first slide. So yeah, over the past couple of years, Plug and Play has made the commitment to build a standalone practice in the energy sector. And this is after we realized there's a lot of large corporations that are shopping for strategic investments in Silicon Valley, and they were really keen to see how we can build this practice. And fast forward, today we have about 20 plus of the largest corporate stakeholders in the energy industry value chain that work with us across various locations based out of Silicon Valley, but also branched out to China, Berlin, and today in Houston, it's going to be our 4th location that focuses primarily on the energy sector. Our mission over time has become how we can leverage some of the existing resources from the verticals that might have pending technologies that may impact energy business. So we spend a fair amount of time identifying these solutions that can either reduce cost or improve the operations or frankly speaking, build brand new products and services that might be valuable from customer service or concierge perspective. So I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about some of the more relevant practices that are adjacent to our energy and sustainability vertical at Plug and Play, and kind of show a quick breakdown of our partners' industry sectors and some of their technology focus areas that are quite relevant to our energy partners. And then after that brief introduction, I'll turn it over to our Saeed, our CEO Saeed, who is the man behind building this from day one, and we'll hear a little bit about background of Plug and Play. So New Materials and Packaging, a special thanks to ExxonMobil, some of our best partners in new materials and packaging, supply chain, and energy and sustainability. About 3 years ago, they were one of the key driving forces behind us having a new materials and packaging focused program. Today, we work with some of the largest chemical companies and plastics and consumer electronics and building materials that are looking for biodegradable solutions, nanomaterials, adhesives, and technologies that can help reduce the cost of operations in their supply chain processes. My colleague Omar is here. If you're interested in learning more about what we do in new materials space, feel free to find him and grab him and chat. So one of another interesting practices that we launched as one of our earliest initiatives is brand and retail. We brought the entire value chain from service providers to some of the consumer goods and general retailers together in Silicon Valley about 5 years ago. Today, we're strong in 9 locations, and as you see, some of the biggest brands. A lot of technologies that they're looking at today that are human-centric innovation are relevant to our energy partners. So energy partners want to learn, how can they build products based on how their customers behave? How can they change their vending processes, their payment processes, and things that are directly related to their customers. So we see a lot of relevant technologies in our brand and retail practice that we're shepherding into our energy sector. Another very interesting practice that we launched just about 2 years ago together with our first partner, Maersk. And today we truly have built a global tech transfer network for some of the largest shipping companies, railroads, maritime, third-party logistics that come and engage with the startups that can help them, incrementally change their business and hopefully over time digitally transform some of their end-to-end supply chain practices. So we see a lot of industrial IoT solutions, a lot of asset management, asset tracking, end-to-end supply chain optimization that we see startups are using data analytics and software solutions to create metrics that can inform some of those dialogues in trading the assets in supply chain. So very interesting practice and directly related to our energy and sustainability vertical at Plug and Play. Another favorite slide of mine, IoT is our kind of general practice that we started as our first industry horizontal. Today, we're working with some of the largest manufacturers, OEMs, suppliers, tier 1 automakers around the world. As you can see, this slide kind of breaks down some of our activities in different locations that we're active in automotive sector. We'll talk a little bit more about what are we doing in the automotive sector. Saeed is going to talk a little bit about Startup Autobahn and our activities in Stuttgart, how things have evolved over time, and that is a really good analogy and indication of what we're planning to do here in Houston. So we're really excited for that. A lot of technologies around electrification of things, electrification of transportation. We see a number of interesting technology around autonomous vehicles, a lot of energy storage solutions and shared riding, shared economy, and things that we can see the impact in the energy business. And we see some of our forward-thinking energy partners are actually implementing some of these solutions from the mobility sector into the oil and gas value chain. And then lastly, this is where we kicked off, July of 2017. It's been quite a journey and a lot of learning that goes into it. But as you see here, we work with some of the largest stakeholders in the oil and gas, from Japan to China to Europe and in the US. And this is just the beginning for us. We think as we grow this ecosystem, we can attract better startups, we can invest in more quality companies, and we can bring the impact into the oil and gas industry. So we kind of build a full prong approach. So in the oil and gas, from upstream to midstream and downstream, as well as electric utilities, from power generation, transmission lines and distributions, and all the components of the value chain. So equipment manufacturers, suppliers, OEMs, renewables. We are convinced that the future is converging to an electrified energy mix. So we are pretty bullish in making investments in those areas that can go into the environmental sustainability as well. And we're going to talk a little bit about what we do in our sustainability activities. And then in some of the locations, we bundle some of these industry-specific verticals. In Paris, just about a month or two ago, we launched our Smart City initiative together with some of the stakeholders in the automotive sector, in energy, real estate, construction, manufacturing. We see a lot of interesting areas that when you bundle these efforts together, you can have major impact in bringing innovation in far more expedient and much cheaper rate than before. So super excited about our activities there. And those are some of the interesting focus areas that we have, and really our mission is to create an import-export opportunity for the startups that go to our international offices back to Houston and our other locations. So for the interest of time, this is a quick snapshot of what we're doing in Japan, one of the locations that I particularly get excited every time I see it. We have been able to build the largest innovation platform in Japan together with some of the major financial institutes, insurance companies, manufacturing firms, and a lot of interesting activities that they're culturally embracing, and they're bringing that change and transformation into their businesses directly through the Tokyo office that we've built there. So we do have a short video that is the wrap-up of our Japan Expo Batch 2, which I wanted to show you. It's a 4-minute video, and then after that I'll turn it over to Saeed to share a little bit about the history of Plug and Play.
3 years ago,
In
we
Silicon Valley.
planned to launch an energy program. So I selected Plug and Play. I think it was one of my best decisions. Thank you.
I don't think there's another program on earth that allows you to get access to these type of corporates, these type of companies with one-on-one time and able to kind of work with them and figure out their needs and figure out how your startup can help them.
We get access, recognition, strategic partnerships, and we find that pretty unique in Silicon Valley. So Plug and Play understands the energy ecosystem, and that's something we find very appealing.
Plug and Play was a perfect fit for us because it was exactly what we needed, just a big pipeline of corporate relationships that were already primed. So we took advantage of that, and we probably closed our round in half the time that we would have if we didn't have those corporate relationships because of Plug and Play.
This is the kickoff of our corporate relationship with Plug and Play. So came out to look at the latest tech and always talk to the venture people and the other corporates. Great networking, learning, and discovery. A couple of days for us.
It's really important for large corporations to get inspired. So if you can take the best of both worlds, you can actually do something really well together.
We see that Plug and Play has really the possibility to attract the best startups. And so for us, it's important to have a worldwide screening of the startups.
There is a lot of innovative and good technologies, and Plug and Play people can support a lot. So that is very good for us.
We're happy to announce Tokyo Gas as the winner of Corporate Innovation Award. Izuma-san is one of the biggest advocates of Plug and Play energy and sustainability since the beginning. So thank you for your contribution.
It's a pleasure being part of Plug and Play. We've enjoyed being in multiple programs. I really look forward to working with everyone in this room. Thank you so much.
So this was the conclusion of Batch 4 of Energy and Sustainability in Silicon Valley. In the next 2 or 3 months, we will finalize the list of companies that will enter Batch 5. So we're really excited for that. We also are going to establish, our activities here in Houston, and hopefully in September time we'll come back with another event and series of startups that are going to pitch. Without further ado, that closes my part. I'd like to invite our CEO Saeed on the stage. Please help me welcome him.